17 crore 62 lakh 48,320. This was the number of pasta masala packets sold by Smith & Jones in 2022 to 23. Smith & Jones, which is also famously known for their ginger garlic paste, is owned by Capital Foods, a private company that also owns the massively popular Ching's secret brand of Desi Chinese. Chings is different than any of your usual market leaders in any segment, because while there are almost always competitors in every segment or niche, Chings has managed to create a blue ocean of their own, where they have literally carved out a new category in the market with almost zero competition or contention from anyone else. Capital Foods, their parent company, is expected to do about 900 crores in sales this year, which is almost 1.5 times of the 580 crores that it did in 2022. And now there is interest from giants like Nestle and the Tata group to acquire the company altogether in what is expected to be a sale of over $1 billion. So how did Capital Foods manage to carve out an entirely new segment out of thin air? And what have they done to ensure that there is simply no competition in their market segment? And what are the business lessons that you can take from Ching's secret to create your own blue ocean? Well, the story of Ching's secret starts with the story of Chinese food in India. By the 1970s and the 1980s, Indo-Chinese dishes had started making their mark in India's thriving street food scene. Street food vendors introduced quick-to-make and spicy version of noodles, fried rice, and Manchurian dishes. In Mumbai alone, from just 4 to 5 restaurants in 1987, there were around 10,000 roadside Chinese food stall setups by 1990. The Indo-Chinese cuisine was affordable and it had adapted itself to the Indian taste buds. This was a time when the market was very nascent, with Kolkata dominating the Chinese food game. Kolkata's Tangra region, also known as Chinatown, was home to a significant Chinese immigrant community, and this region became the birthplace of Indo-Chinese cuisine. These early settlers adopted traditional Chinese dishes to the Indian palate, creating a unique culinary fusion. Indian Chinese is quite different from actual Chinese food. You will not find any dish in China similar to what we have here in India. But this was what made Indians fall in love with the category. And this budding category caught the eye of a marketing professional named Ajay Gupta. And as he began researching the market, he was shocked when he visited Chinatown. Even the most authentic of the Kolkata Chinese labels were literally being produced next to gutters in Chinatown. So when Ajay came back home to Mumbai, he invested Rs 2.5 crores to set up a manufacturing plant. And this was how Ching's secret was born. But Ajay was quite smart about his offering right from the beginning, where he went with the blue ocean strategy. So here is how the blue ocean, red ocean analogy in business works. Red ocean refers to the existing market space where companies compete against each other for a share of the customer base. It's often a zero-sum game where one company's gain is simply another company's loss. The market space gets crowded and prospects for profit as well as growth are reduced for all the competitors. The red in red ocean symbolizes a bloody battle among competitors, which is often characterized by aggressive price wars, fierce competition, and strategies aimed at stealing customers from rivals. And this is how almost all companies work in the world. And a perfect example of this is the telecom industry in our country. The competition has been so fierce that only 3 companies have survived so far, and even they are operating on razor-thin margins. VI has been on the brink of bankruptcy in several instances now. On the other hand, you have your blue ocean, unexplored, uncontested market spaces ripe with opportunity and growth potential. In this case, the market boundaries are irrelevant because the aim is to create new spaces and markets. It's not about dividing existing demand, but creating new demand and opportunities for high growth, where competition is simply made irrelevant because the rules of the games are waiting to be set. A perfect example of this was the creation of the smartphone industry by Apple with the introduction of the iPhone, which combined a phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator, representing a blue ocean. Now, you might say that the smartphone industry is not a blue ocean industry anymore. It has several players today. And that is correct. However, Apple got a first mover advantage that was so big that it continues to be the most valuable company in this world today. So Ajay Gupta focused on creating a blue ocean for himself by generating a new market segment altogether, Desi Chinese. Multinational giants like Nestle are great at doing assembly line numbers, but understanding the culture and creating products on a regional basis is not something that they love doing. They are more focused on scale. So Ajay took on the brunt of doing actual on-ground research, and he came up with a bunch of products that simply did not exist before then, with a focus on enabling Indians to make Desi Chinese food at their own homes. In 1998, he launched noodles and named them Hakka to counter the unorganized noodles players. And Ching's Hakka noodles now owns the category. Then, in 2008, instead of competing with Maggi, he launched instant Chinese noodles, the only brand with Desi Chinese flavors. And then in 2012, he launched Ching's Szechuan chutney, a versatile chutney that could be used as a dip, spread, or cooking ingredient, and one of Capital Foods' best-selling items to this day. And Ching's wasn't just creating new products. It was also leading the creation of this new category by teaching people different ways to make Desi Chinese at their homes. As early as 2009, Ching's was making tutorials on YouTube on how to make Desi Chinese dishes at your own home using their ingredients. From chili idli to Chinese bhel, Ching's secret was creating Desi Chinese in India. The result was that Ching's secret increased its presence in the market with virtually zero competition, and Capital Foods was doing over 200 crores in sales every year by 2013. Now, up until then, the market penetration was slow since the company was bootstrapped without a lot of external funding. But with over 200 crores in revenue, Ajay realized that they could now afford to focus on marketing campaigns as well. Before we dive into that, if you have made it this far, please subscribe to my channel below to help me grow. Moving on. Going by the unique and savory product lineup, Ajay wanted to add some spiciness to Ching's advertising. And once again, instead of going the traditional way and going to a marketing agency, he went to Yash Raj Films instead. And instead of hiring any normal actor, they decided to go with a relative newbie who was still breaking into the industry, Ranveer Singh. And in 2014, Ching's secret came out with a high-energy music video titled My Name is Ranveer Ching. Unlike your usual ad, this was a full-fledged music video by Yash Raj Films with lyrics by Gulzar and music by Shankar Ehsaan Loy. India loves food and India loves Bollywood. And Ching's secret had found the perfect fusion between the two. Ranveer Singh's quirky and vibrant personality fit in seamlessly with the spiciness of the brand. And the song was an absolute success. Before this campaign, Ching's secret was in 60,000 stores in India. But 18 months later, they were present in 150,000 stores across the country. The song has 8 million views on YouTube and it was used as ringtones by millions across the country. So in 2016, Ajay went one step ahead and collaborated with Rohit Shetty to create a 5-minute ad film named Ranveer Ching Returns. This was an even greater success, and by 2016, Ching's secret was available in 2.75 lakh stores in India. These quirky marketing strategies continued in the following years, with campaigns like Cool Bomb featuring Sridevi in 2017 and Captain Ching in 2018. But the innovation in marketing was not limited to these ad campaigns. Way back in 2009, when other brands were still using traditional mediums like TV, radio, and print, Ching's secret continued its blue ocean strategy and debuted on social media with a Facebook page. And it went on to become the first Indian brand with a 100k plus community on Facebook within the next 1 year. As I already mentioned, they were also one of the first brands that actually utilized YouTube's power as a marketing channel. Remember that none of this was paid advertising. So social media ended up playing a major role in promoting the brand at a very low cost. The result is that by 2019, Ching's secret had become not just the largest, but perhaps the only pan-India Desi Chinese brand. But sadly, COVID came in the very next year and the entire country was severely hit by the pandemic, with Ching's secret not being an exception. But as demand has picked up again, Ching's secret is now back on track with a revenue of Rs 580 crores in 2022. And on track to do about 1000 crores in sales in 2023 with an EBITDA margin of about 25%. And this is why giants like Nestle and Tata are currently in the race to acquire Capital Foods and their Ching's secret. So what can you learn from Capital Foods' journey of market domination? Well, I would say that it is the blue ocean strategy of creating a business. Instead of directly competing with existing brands, Ching's secret created a new, uncontested market segment, Desi Chinese, making the competition irrelevant. It is a classic example of how you can differentiate your business from the competition by innovating rather than imitating. But I know it is easier said than done, so I will break this down further. The first and foremost step is to identify a pain point or gap in the existing market, instead of trying to do what someone else is already doing. You need to innovate and come up with something that actually serves the unmet need of consumers. And more than anything else, this requires very keen observation skills. The next time you are facing a difficulty, any difficulty, in your daily life, ask yourself, how can I make this task easier for everyone? For Ajay Gupta, the gap was the lack of ready-to-eat Indo-Chinese dishes in homes. And for you, it will be something entirely different. And once you do find that idea, it's essential to shape your product or service in a way that effectively addresses this need, and then bring it out to the market. And remember, there will be doubts, both from other people and yourself, but you need to push through. Ajay Gupta recalls that when he decided to put ginger garlic paste in a bottle in 1996, the concept was entirely new and people laughed at him. But Smith & Jones's ginger garlic paste went on to have a 50% market share in the segment. If you found value in this case study, please share it with your friends. If this blue ocean strategy interests you, I recommend that you check out this video explaining how Zudio is doing the same thing in the apparel segment. The link is also in the description below. And while you are there, follow me on LinkedIn as well. Let me know in the comments which story you want me to cover next. Until then, goodbye.